So you're 50 years old and broke. Guys, I am in the same boat as you. My name is Susan at Over 50 Resource, and in this video, I'm going to share the exact steps that I'm taking to change my financial future at 50 years old. And make sure you watch the entire video, guys, because I've been implementing these steps for 4 years, and in just 4 years, I've managed to accumulate a net worth of $112,000. So the first step, guys, is to make a decision that you are sick and tired of being broke. Now, the reason this is important, guys, because you are about to take a journey that is going to be one of the hardest things you've ever done. You have to flip the way you think about money upside down on its head. What I mean by that is your behaviors and your mindset about money have to change. See, your behaviors have gotten you where you're at, to 50 years old and broke. See, like you, I used to spend every penny that I earned. As a matter of fact, whenever we'd get paid, I would spend it faster than it came in. So I would find myself struggling to be able to make ends meet until the next payday. And that's probably what most of you do. See, as a society, we're not taught how to spend money. Instead, they want you to think that you have to have the latest and greatest. And we get bombarded with commercials and all these types of advertisements that tell you to spend your money. Well, and if you can't afford to buy something, well, then why not finance it? After all, if you can finance it and you can afford it, then you can afford to have it. Guys, that's not what you need to do. You need to change your mindset about money. And the mindset that you need to have is think about money, what money can do for your future. That if used correctly, money is a tool that can create wealth, but you have to put that money to work for you. See, what I mean by is you have to learn how to pay yourself first so that you can buy assets that create wealth for you. And these assets can be investing in the stock market, real estate, things that create wealth, instead of spending your money on unnecessary things that don't create any wealth for you. So your mindset has to change, and it's going to be hard to change your mindset because you're 50 years old, you've had behaviors, because you think of money as something that buys you stuff today, but you have to think of it as using it as a tool to change your financial future. Now, I'm not saying you can't buy stuff, because guys, you have to be able to enjoy life today, because there's no guarantee that we're going to be able to live into our 70s and 80s, but you have to also save for your future. And this means that you need to stop watching other YouTubers or listening to or reading statistics on how much you should have saved. Guys, there's tons of videos out there talking about what to do if you're broke, and most of these are created by young YouTubers who have no idea what it's like to walk in our shoes at being broke at 50. Most of them are going to make you feel like shit because you should have started earlier, but it's not true, guys. You have 15 to 20 years of time for your money to compound and work for you. So if you start today, there's no guarantee that you're going to be a millionaire, but you can retire with dignity. And also, guys, the statistics will also make you feel like crap. See, I got on a Bankrate this morning, and it was talking about by the time you're 50 years old, you should have 6 times your salary saved. If I was to listen to the statistics all the time, it would make me feel like shit. And I would never take any action to try to change my financial future, because I would think that I'm already way behind the 8 ball. Why change anything? But that's not true. Once you decide that you're sick and tired of living paycheck to paycheck and not knowing what your financial future is going to be like, then you need to make a plan. Step 2, guys, is to make a plan. Guys, the first step when you make a plan is to make a budget or a spending plan, whatever you want to call it, budget or spending plan. You need to know what's coming into your household and what's going out. You can go to Google and download a free downloadable budget template. Don't spend any money on this. You don't need anything fancy. I don't even use a template, guys. I use a spreadsheet in Google Drive, and what I did is quickly show you how to find some free downloadable budget templates. As I said, you don't want to pay for anything, so you can just come over here and just type into Google free downloadable budget templates and then see what comes up. Now, as I said, don't spend any money on any templates. Right here, guys, the first one that pops up is NerdWallet, and it has free budget templates, spreadsheets and templates. So click on that, and he has 5 free downloadable budgeting templates. So you can come in here and you can download something if you want to get a little fancy and have a spreadsheet that's already made into a template for you. For me, guys, I actually just created a template on Google Drive. You can see how plain it is. In the first column, I have the monthly expenses, and then I went through here and I added all our monthly expenses. You want to add everything that you spend money for. And then right here, I have the cost, the amount that I have to pay every month, as well as the date that the payments are due. And then down here, I have our monthly income. So Karen gets paid bi-weekly. It's $3,200 for the month without overtime. And then I have a monthly payment that I pay myself through my business for $1,500. And then the total amounts to $4,700 is what we bring in. And then after subtracting the total of our bills, which is $3,011 is what we pay monthly in expenses, we have $1,689 left over after our bills are paid. With this $1,689, that is what we use to spend money. We set ourselves a budget to where we can spend a little bit of money every month on things that we really like to do. And then we put money into different buckets for like vacations that we plan on doing in the future. And then we also take this money and we invest a big portion of it. So guys, that's how we do our spreadsheet. Very simple, very plain. And then this will tell you how much money you can start saving. Now, if you are spending more than what you earn, you might be in the negative. You might realize that you're spending more than what you earn. So you need to find a way to cut your expenses. And even if you are not in the negative, you need to look at your expenses and determine, is there anything that I can cut so that I can save more? See, guys, I read a book called Richest Man in Babylon, and it talks about saving 10% of your income. See, but this book was written for people who start saving in their 20s. As a 50-year-old, at the minimum, you want to save 10%. If all you can save from every paycheck is 10%, then save 10%. But guys, you need to be saving more than 10%. You're looking at, if you really want to retire with dignity and be able to have a decent retirement, you need to be saving at least 30 to 40%, if not more, of your income. And if you're not there yet, look at what you can cut. There might be some streaming services that you don't use. Guys, you don't need more than 2 or 3 streaming services. And if you're paying more than that, then it's time to cut some of them. Also, make sure you look and make sure you're not paying for unused memberships. According to Yahoo Finance, Americans are wasting $397 million on unused gym memberships. So make sure you're not one of them. And then once you've created a budget and you know how much money you have, what expenses you have, and what steps you need to take to be able to save, then you need to set up automatic investments. And what do I mean by this, guys, is you should have one bank account that where as soon as you get paid, that money goes into that bank account. Now, that bank account is not meant to continue holding all your money. Instead, what you want to do is as soon as you get paid, you want to push some of that money into different accounts. I like to push it into my high yield savings account, and then I like to push some into my Roth IRA. But now that my Roth IRA is maxed out, I'm pushing it into a taxable account. So, but if you don't have a taxable account and you don't have enough money to push into a taxable account, you at least want to push money into a high yield savings account, because you want to have a rainy day fund, or when you start using your money for retirement, if the markets are low, you need to have a cash account that you can pull from and leave your money in the stock market if the market is down when you're ready to retire. So you want to make sure you start building up some type of cash reserve, and hopefully in a high yield savings account. I love Goldman Sachs, and I've been using them for 2 years, but there's tons of different high yield savings accounts that you can use. So do your research and find one that you like and start building up a nest egg in the high yield savings account, because who knows when you reach that age, when you start pulling money out, if the markets are down, you're not going to want to touch your money. You're going to want to rely on your cash reserves. So the next thing, guys, is if you work a W-2 job, talk to your human resources and increase your retirement contributions. See, now that we're 50 years old, the IRS allows us to make catch-up contributions. So you want to make sure that you're maxing out as much as you can in your retirement accounts. And if you don't have a Roth IRA opened up and you're just investing in a 401k, find out if you meet the income requirements to open up a Roth IRA. So another thing I forgot to almost mention, guys, is that if you are a Gen Xer, that means you are probably around the age of 41 to 58, which is about the age of Gen Xers. That means that you are getting close to Social Security. Now, I don't really like to rely on Social Security because there's a huge debate going on about what they're trying to do with Social Security. So we don't know whether or not we're going to get the full benefits. But if you are a Gen Xer, that means you've been working for several decades and you've been having to pay into this Social Security pot. That means that you're going to be entitled for Social Security benefits. So I'm going to share with you guys how to check what your Social Security benefits are right now. Check your Social Security benefits. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to come over here to ssa.gov, and you're going to either want to create an account if you haven't already created an account. And guys, this is extremely crucial. If you are already a Gen Xer, you need to take this step because this is going to show you everything that you need to know about Social Security for when you are ready to start withdrawing it and know what your benefits are. So guys, I already have an account. If you have an account, you can sign in. So I already signed in, and I'm going to take you guys inside of my Social Security account and kind of give you just an in-depth view of what I'm going to be earning, the different withdrawal plans, and basically just a little bit of tidbits of what I know about this. So guys, here I am inside of my account. You can see it says, "Welcome, Susan." And you can see that right here, if you scroll down, all this stuff, guys, I've never really done any of this stuff, but you can download all this stuff and you can play around with it when you log into your account. And you can replace a Social Security card. You can see your benefit verification letter. But right here is what I want to show you guys. Right here it says eligibility and earnings. If this is green and it has a check mark right here, that means you have the 40 work credits you need to receive benefits. And if you're a Gen Xer, you likely have the benefits or the credits to be able to earn to withdraw Social Security, because you've likely been paying into Social Security benefits your whole life since you've been holding a job. So right here, when it says plan for retirement, this is the part that we want to talk about, because this is the part that kind of gets me a little bit excited, and it should you as well too. If you are starting from zero at 50 and you don't have anything saved for retirement right now, I'm going to share with you guys why you don't need to stress out so much and you don't need to save as much as you think you do. Now, granted, there are a lot of talks about reducing Social Security when we get to that withdrawal age. So we don't know what Social Security is going to look like 10, 12, 15 years down the road, depending on where you are in the Gen X or age group. But how much we'll be able to withdraw will be total. I don't know, and I don't want to get into a political battle on whether or not Social Security will be around. We're going with the mindset that is going to be around, with the intention of knowing that you don't want to focus solely on relying on Social Security, guys, because regardless, it's not going to be a lot of money. So for me, guys, right here, if I do the early withdrawal at 62, that means I am entitled to $1,407 as of today, which when I am recording this video, I don't know what it's going to be like in 12 years when I'm actually ready to start doing the early withdrawal, if that's the route that I choose to do. But we're going based on today's statistics. So as I said, 62, considered the early withdrawal, I would be able to withdraw $1,407. Now, guys, let me throw this caveat in here. These numbers can change based on my contribution rate from the time that from now until 12 years from now, when I turn 62, I could either make less for my early withdrawal, or I could make more, and it's all dependent on my yearly income and how much I pay into the Social Security. It's a little confusing, so you'll want to do your research, but as of today, if I was to start withdrawing money at 62, I would earn $1,407 every month. If I waited for my full benefits, which is age 67, my benefits would be $2,183. And then if I delayed it, guys, at age 70, I would earn $2,822 in Social Security benefits. Now, guys, I know this doesn't sound like a lot, and it's really not a lot if Social Security is your only income when you reach that age. But if you're like me, then you're doing everything you can to catch up with your catch-up contributions. So let's just say, guys, that I wanted to earn $5,000 in retirement. Now, I'm not taking into factor taxes because we're going to have to pay taxes on everything. The only thing you're not going to pay taxes on is a Roth IRA or a health savings account if you have it. So I have one Roth IRA, and then I have my solo 401k. So from my solo 401k and my Social Security, I will have to pay taxes. So this is just a scenario not including taxes. So if I wanted to earn $5,000 every month, so let's just say $5,000, and then I make $1,400, so we're going to subtract $1,407 from the $5,000. That means I have to find a way to bring in $3,593 into my household so that I would make my $5,000 every month. Guys, that is not hard to do because right now you're likely bringing in $3,593 from your job. And even if you don't want to work a job, you can find a way to earn money online, bringing that money in, that amount of money in. So anyway, guys, I just wanted to share with you guys the reality of, regardless of where you are today, even if you find yourself broke, you're not going to literally be broke when you reach retirement age because you do have Social Security that you can rely on a little bit. I just don't want you to get to the point to where you're relying on Social Security, your Social Security benefits 100%, because as I said, we don't know what it's going to look like when we get down that path. And the last thing you want to do is rely 100% on Social Security only to realize that they changed the benefits. And now, because I waited and I relied on Social Security and I'm getting $1,407 today in 2023, well, when I reach Social Security in 12 years, they've reduced the benefits, and now I'm only making 50% of $1,407, which would be about $700 and some dollars every month. So anyway, guys, I hope this motivates you a little bit. It does me, knowing that I have another source of income coming in, that I've paid into Social Security benefits, and now when I reach that age, I have a little bit of help, but I still got to do my part to save so that I am not 100% reliant on Social Security. Step number 3 is to increase your income. I am not all about cutting out your expenses. I mean, yeah, you can cut some stuff, but guys, you want to be able to you don't want to sacrifice everything today just to save for tomorrow. And the best way to do this, guys, is to increase your income. I'm a huge fan of side hustles because I think that side hustles are not only a way to earn extra income, but eventually, guys, if you work the side hustle on a regular basis and you stay consistent, regardless of what your outcome is the first year, if you stay consistent and just keep working towards your side hustle can turn into a full-time business. And guys, the best thing about a side hustle is that you can do a side hustle in your 60s and 70s. You don't have to worry about going to a job and doing something that you don't like. So when you start a side hustle, there's several benefits to it. And one of them is that you can do tax write-offs on several things in your household, like office space or portion of your internet. Of course, you'll want to talk to a CPA in your area because I'm not a legal tax advisor. I'm just telling you that some of the benefits since having my LLC and having a side hustle for the past 5 years has allowed me to do this and take advantages of some of this stuff to be able to save for retirement. Also, guys, when you start a side hustle, you get to open up a solo 401k. I didn't know about a solo 401k until about a year ago. And with a solo 401k, the IRS allows you to save a lot more in a solo 401k than just a employee 401k. And you can have both a solo 401k and an employee 401k at the same time, but you'll want to make sure that you don't go over the contribution limits. So you'll need to talk to a tax advisor about that. Step number 4, guys, is to start today. The sooner you start implementing these steps, guys, is the sooner and the faster you'll be able to accumulate more money. And guys, even if you can only start with a small amount, it doesn't really matter. The important thing is that you start today. I'm going to tell you something. It's going to be hard at first because it's going to take a while for you to notice anything. And I don't know about you, but the thing that motivates me is to watch my savings and my investments grow. And once you start seeing your investments grow, you're going to find a way to make more money or to save more money or to push more money into those accounts, because it's going to be exciting to watch things change for you. And it's going to be easier for you to say, no, I don't want to buy that, because it's not going to do anything for me today. But if I invest that money today, then I know that eventually I'll be able to buy that thing without hurting myself financially. So start today. And this isn't a one-time deal. You have to think differently about money. You have to make sure that you don't fall back into your old behavior. You have to repeat the process over and over if anything is going to change. So every month you get paid, you do the same steps. It's a new way of thinking about money. Step number 5 is that you have to educate yourself. Changing your mindset and behaviors about money is not easy. As I mentioned, it's going to turn your world upside down because we were not taught about this. It's so easy to fall back into our old patterns and behaviors of money because we've been living this way for 50 years. So to change our mindset about money is going to require you to change your habits. This means that you're going to have to start listening to podcasts, listening to books, reading blogs, doing anything that you can to change your mindset about money. You need to learn and educate on how money is supposed to be used. See, guys, I am constantly listening to all kinds of books on money, how money is meant to be used, and I listen to self-development books. I listen to law of attraction books. I listen to anything that's going to change my mentality about money. Because see, if you're on a diet and you start a diet, when it's so easy to fall back to your normal routine of eating the same junk food that you used to eat all the time, because that's what you're used to and that's what you've always done in your life. Well, the same goes with money. When you're trying to change your habit about money, how money is used and how you use money and your behaviors about money, you have to constantly drill in your head on to think about money differently. And the only way to do this is to do things differently than what you used to do. So if you don't educate yourself on thinking about money differently, you're going to get on the bandwagon of, I need to change my financial future, and you're going to get all happy and excited to make these changes. But as you start making these changes, you're going to realize how hard it is. And then you're going to say, well, it's not worth it because I've been doing fine. There's government programs for when I get older. I might as well just continue the path that I'm at. It's so easy to fall back to the path that we're at. And once you start seeing your finances grow and your finances change, then at that point, it's going to be much easier to continue the journey because you're going to see your finances grow. But it's going to take time. But it took time to get where we are at right now financially. The years are going to pass whether you do something or not. You might as well take the action and change your financial future. So anyway, guys, I hope this helps. Make sure you leave your feedback in the comments below on what you're doing at 50 years old to change your financial future. And I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you implement these steps. They are the same steps that I've used to change my financial future in just 4 years. Anyways, I'll talk to you later, and you know what to do. Bye.